Hello again everyone, Age of June here, and we are back casting another League of Legends game. This is actually from a featured game. I do not have to go through casted.in at the moment because the featured games are back. The splash screen is thankfully gone, so I can go back to casting featured games instead of just games for people that I don't know. So I'm going to go back a little bit there. A little bit of an invade there, it looked like, but I'm not sure exactly what was going on. But let's go ahead and take a quick second to go ahead and arrange some of our people. It looks like Elise is probably going to be top, that would be my guess, versus Nidalee. The mid lane, Kha'Zix? Yep. Kha'Zix versus Elise, perhaps? That's what it's looking like so far. We're going to have Ezreal versus Caitlyn, Sona versus Lulu, and Nautilus versus Vi. So there we go. Let's get rid of that directed camera thing. Don't want that. Okay. It's nice while we're going through that, I suppose, but every once in a while I just spectate games from my friends, and at that point in time I go ahead and turn it on. But I don't really want it on when I'm casting a regular game, so... Alright, so there we go. Nidalee's just exploring here just to see what they're doing. Trying to disrupt the assist on the blue buff there. She's actually just kind of doing a little bit of harass there. And now Elise is actually going in pretty hard on her. There is the ignite from both players. The flash, and... Oh! First blood goes to Elise. Nice. So that didn't go very well at all for Nidalee, and the amusing thing is the jungler didn't even have to help whatsoever. Elise just took the Nidalee down and didn't rely on any help. Ooh. Alright. I can actually use my mouse again. For some reason, a lot of times when I am casting, this side actually just doesn't really work as a wall. So it goes over to my second monitor. But in this particular one, it's apparently working. So there is a gank on this Lee Sin here. He is ignited. I think he might actually escape this. He does escape this just barely because he was able to flash out of that Nautilus pull. So good escape there on him. And now Vi is actually going in on Elise up top. It looks like Elise might actually die from this. She does end up going down to the Vi. So... there we go, and now Nidalee is going to be able to catch up on farm, which is excellent for her. She was pretty far behind previously. Looks like, let's see what. Elise got up to level 2, so she's not that far behind. But she's behind, oh. Lee Sin died. How did Lee Sin die? No, farther back. Oh, just missed it again. Really? Okay, there we go. So this is where that is. Just see that over and over. Okay, so it looks like Nautilus came back into mid lane a little bit. And he actually just flash pulled, and there we go. That was the end of the Lee Sin. And it actually didn't get an assist for Kha'Zix because he was not quite able to get there in time. So there we go. It is currently 2-1 for the blue team. Figure we could... ooh. In just a moment. Let's see. Vi is coming in for the moment. We'll take a look at the actual players in just a moment. I don't actually know any of them, to the best of my knowledge. So... these are just random players that I saw, and it was a decent-looking game. I have really taken to a liking to Kha'Zix. He's actually kind of cool. I tried playing him in just a 1 versus 1 beginner bot game, which, you know, doesn't really teach you much at all. So, he seemed really enjoyable while I was playing him there, though, so that was pretty cool. And eventually I may end up taking to actually playing him elsewhere, but I really don't know. It's just, he doesn't really, he doesn't go bot lane, and that is my main lane, so the opportunities for me to do so are fairly slim. As I'm sure you've seen recently, I definitely do not main or even do all that well in other lanes a lot of times. I can do decently. I'm not saying I'm terrible at the other lanes. I just don't do as well as I would like. It's not my main role, you know? So, a couple pings. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the people playing. We've got CloudNguyen playing the Elise. Nidalee is played by McCashDollar. Lee Sin is ImbaDreaMeR. The Kha'Zix is coolnoob. Ezreal is LaiJonJon. Caitlyn is SmileyMiley. Sona is Carnan. The Lulu is Agrias. Oop. And Nautilus is SannduskyDaycare. Wait. And Vi is TinGar. Reasonably certain Sanndusky was the guy that recently got in trouble for doing inappropriate things at the college or at a high school. I'm not even sure. But he was a professor either way, and he got arrested for doing inappropriate things. So SannduskyDaycare kind of has some interesting connotations there. Interesting in a bad way. But anyway, Vi's coming down for a gank. What she doesn't know is that Nautilus is also here for a gank. He's wanting to do a lane gank. She's going to come in from a river gank. And this actually should prove to be fairly interesting here. Oh, in comes the Nautilus. Does get the pull on Caitlyn, but she was jumping out of that using her net anyway. The Nautilus is trying to run away. Nope, now he's coming back into the battle. He's at about half health. The Ezreal and the Sona are fairly low as well. There is the slow from the Nautilus, so nobody's going to die from that. Oh, actually, yes, somebody is going to die from that. The Vi actually went ahead and just dove the Ezreal, took him down, and got out of that barely. Had the Nautilus caught his Q right after that, she probably would have died to the turret. But unfortunately for him, she did not. So that ended up being a 1-4-0, and now the score is tied. Alright. Saw a lot of pings here, and I really don't know why, because both members of the mid lane knew that they were there. Ooh, Lee Sin just went in pretty hard on Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix just used his ulti, just went in on the Lee Sin. Lee is probably dead here. He is dead. Kha'Zix was able to take down that Lee for free. Poet! Didn't know it. Meantime, these guys just, they seem to be fairly static. They're not really doing too much. I mean, they're taking a bit of damage, but mostly they're just using their potions to heal back up and then going right back to it. No really big battles, which is fairly normal for top. A lot of times you're not going to see utter battles of doom going on. It's not to say never. I mean, if you look at my recent support video, which wasn't actually support because I was top, yeah, it ended up being a lot of unpleasantness up top. I mean, I really didn't do that bad. I died twice. But all in all, it got Rengar fed, and that did not turn out well for me at all. Nor did it turn out well for my teammates, who, when they came to gank Rengar alone. Unfortunately, they did come to gank him alone. But when they did come to gank him alone, they just kind of melted to him. Oh, Nidalee is now going in on the Elise. Elise does use her ability to go up. She comes down on the Nidalee. Nidalee takes her down, though. Nidalee was not quite in tower range anymore, so the tower did not go at her. And she just went ahead and pounced the Elise, and down went the Elise. LaiJonJon is pressed back to his tower. Actually, these guys are both still 5, which is kind of surprising to me. I would have thought that Caitlyn would be further ahead than she is. She actually just hit 5, whereas Ezreal is actually... Oh no, she just hit 6. So, between the time that I started talking and just now, she hit 6. Not sure what Lee Sin's doing. He's just warding there. But Kha'Zix knows it. Oh, and Lee Sin knows Kha'Zix knows because of this ward. So there will be no ganking the Lee Sin, and now they see that the Lee Sin is going up there, running away. Obviously, a good idea. He does not want to get taken down by the Kha'Zix, because the Kha'Zix probably would have melted him. And now it looks like the Kha'Zix is actually going to go ahead and grab that blue buff, so he can go and really bully the Lee Sin. Kha'Zix is not all that mana hungry, but he does seem to take a decent amount of mana. In my game that I played against the bot, I did run out of mana a few times with my killing, so he actually is somewhat mana hungry. He's not as much as some of the mid players, but honestly, blue buff is great on him, and it'll definitely help him against Lee Sin. So up here we've got Vi coming in for another gank. She does... Oh, the flash from Elise means she's going to get out of this with no problem whatsoever. Didn't even take damage from that Vi. But they did get a flash. So it was a successful gank. It just wasn't quite as much as they were hoping, I would say. Kha'Zix looks like he might be coming down for a gank. There is no purple team ward here. So they're going to be unpleasantly surprised. Unfortunately, Nautilus might actually be giving this away. He is. He actually came in slightly too soon there. There is the Nautilus ulti, though, and there is the Kha'Zix slow on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn is now being attacked by... Oh, there we go. She just got grabbed. There we go. She is dead. And now the blue team's just going to go ahead and back off. They're probably going to go for Dragon, because that is fairly common to do, and really, it's a great idea at the time. Lee Sin is coming down here to contest. Vi's hovering around to contest as well, but it's going to be a 4 versus 2, so they're going to have to be very cautious here. Oh, the Lee Sin did get grabbed, and he had to flash out of this to survive. He actually would have died had he not flashed. So there will be no more fighting over Dragon. The purple team's going to have to back off. They really can't do anything to it. Elise is actually getting pretty low as well up here again. She's going in on the Nidalee a little bit. She does get the Nidalee to follow her under tower. Takes a couple tower shots, but Elise is definitely not coming out ahead on this. Nidalee is actually fairly powerful. She seems to be going Bruiser Nid, which is the way I like, honestly. I've seen a lot of AP Nids, and they never really seem to do well. Every AP Nid that I've seen just utterly is useless late game. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem worth it. Ezreal does get a kill out of that, so he got 435 gold. But yeah, AP Nid, she's really nasty as long as she can land her spears. But late game, a lot of times you're not going to see that, and it always ends up falling off. I don't think I've ever won with an AP Nid on my team. However, Bruiser Nid I have. Bruiser Nid is actually pretty powerful. She's able to just walk through people and just tear them to pieces. Alright, so bot lane is going to go ahead and grab this turret. Oh. It looks like he's wanting to do a gank here, but he really can't because she saw him and she just keeps falling back. So, there we go. She did get grabbed by him there, but didn't really take much damage, honestly. Down bot, these guys are actually walking up through the jungle, just warding up. Good idea. And now the blue team is warning Kha'Zix, hey, watch out, they might be coming for you. And actually, the rest of the purple team was telling them to get back as well. Alright, so they're going to come mid. They're just cycling through. That's fairly common these days. A lot of times you'll see the bot press pretty hard to get that tower down. As soon as they do, they cycle mid and try to get that tower down. And a lot of times they will then cycle top, although that's not quite as common. But mid is definitely something they'll cycle straight to so they can go ahead and take it down. Kha'Zix just jumped in there, did a decent amount of damage, and was able to push them back off of the tower for the moment. It's going to be 4 versus 4 for here right now, but looks like Caitlyn is going to go ahead and fall back as well. Actually, no, I was about to say as well as Lulu, but looks like she has changed her mind. Caitlyn's just going to go ahead and get wolves then. Okay. So the blue team is pushing there. Kha'Zix is going down. No, I don't know what Kha'Zix was doing. Kha'Zix walked down that way and then came back up. So, I'm kind of confused. He did get hit by that trap there by the Caitlyn. Probably intentionally, actually. And now Vi is sitting in this bush. The blue team does know it. So, they are ready for this. Vi is now coming up to go in on the Elise. Elise is actually warding, and now she's in trouble because... Oh, she was able to jump up to the Nidalee. She, unfortunately, wasn't good enough because the Vi had her ulti, so she did actually go in on her. Nautilus came in, went ahead and slowed the Nidalee and the Vi, and now here comes the rest of the blue team. The rest of the story. So they're going to go in on this Nidalee. Nidalee's trying to escape. She's probably going to jump past this wall here, but I don't know that it's going to be quite enough. No, it's not. It did cause the Nautilus to use his ulti to take her down, though. So that wasn't too bad. The kill count is still 6-6, but Caitlyn is actually pressing pretty hard bot, and she's going to try to get this tower here. There's nobody here to fight her off at the moment. There are 2 members of the blue team coming to push her back, though. So I don't think she's going to be able to get it, but she actually might. Because it's about half health. But no, she's not going to be able to get it. They are entirely too close. They're going to go in on her, probably. Just push her off the tower. There we go. Oh, Elise actually went ahead and repelled straight to her. She did actually cleanse the Elise stun there, but she's getting pretty low as it is. Oh, the Elise gets stuck by the trap. Now they're coming towards the rest of the purple team. Sona gets the kill on the Caitlyn, so Caitlyn does end up going down. And the rest of the purple team goes ahead and falls back because they don't want to die as well. Kha'Zix is still pushing mid now, and he's probably going to try to go in on this tower a little, but as of right now, not the best of idea. Well, I don't actually. There's 2 here and 3 here, so it could be okay. Elise is going back up top. I'm kind of surprised by what happened up there. I mean, usually Elise is a very, very strong top laner. I guess Bruiser Nid is even more strong than I thought. that was a mistake. So he stepped on that trap, and now Nidalee knows they were there, waiting for her. So there will be no ganking for you. He's going to go ahead and fall back, though. Nope. He's going to explore the jungle now. Oh, gets picked up by the ward. So he can't go back into the jungle. I was wrong. Again. Vi, for a second, it looked like she was going to go down bot to gank, but now she's coming into this jungle. She does get caught by the Nautilus, or seen by the Nautilus, and now she's coming into mid lane. Everybody on the blue team just left mid tower. So it is completely undefended, and the purple team's gonna take this down because there's nobody there defending it. That's one thing that you gotta be careful for. If you're gonna go back and you're one of the people defending a tower, make sure nobody else is going back. I've had this so many times that everybody just chooses to go back at the same time, and then the tower's completely undefended, so it goes down, and you give them a free tower for no reason. Almost a gank there from the Vi, but decided not to. I'm going to take a look at the Nidalee build. She's still going Bruiser. She's got a Sheen. Okay, that's actually really good. Sheen. Ooh. Lulu came in. The Kha'Zix is here as well. Nidalee's coming in as well. Lulu's actually getting really low here. She does go down. The Vi's getting pretty low here. The Kha'Zix jumps on her. She goes down. Kha'Zix has another jump thanks to his reset. Going in on the Lee Sin there. Lee Sin's going to go down. Yes. But the kill goes to Nautilus, so I do not believe he gets a reset. But the blue team's going to go ahead and go in on... Nope! I thought they were going to go in on Baron, but they decided not to. They are going to go mid instead. So there we go. They are indeed going mid. Nautilus tried to land his stun there, or his pull there on the Caitlyn, which would have killed her, but he did end up not quite making it. It was slightly too short, so they're going to go ahead and go to Dragon, actually. Nidalee kind of figured that when they started heading that way. She went ahead and just put a trap there just to make sure she doesn't get ganked. But the blue team is going to get this free dragon. They are actually ahead in gold now. And Kha'Zix was just kind of fending that off. But there's the ping from the purple team on the top tower. So somebody needs to go top unless they're just going to let that tower fall. But Ezreal is actually taking bot tower as all of this stuff is happening. He does end up getting his speed boost. And he is going to go ahead and take this tower down with the help of Sona, who actually gets the kill. So there we go. There is the first kill on the tower for the blue team. Not bad. And now two members of the blue and purple team are mid. Nautilus is trying to get out. Vi actually did quite a bit of damage to him. She does use her ulti on him. He flashes out of that Nidalee spear, but now the Elise is under attack. Elise is getting really low. She actually survives. And now the Nautilus goes down, unfortunately. He extended a little too far there. But the Kha'Zix was actually waiting for the Vi. He could probably take down the Nidalee if he could get over there. Oh, he got pretty close. She almost walked into his trap there. Lee Sin just flashed out. There is the Kha'Zix flash. He does take down the Lee Sin, though, and now the Nidalee's trying to escape. She was, I think, picked up by a ward, so they know she's here. But so is this Caitlyn. The ward picks her up, so she's going to have to walk off. And now Kha'Zix is circling around to go at her. Oh, it's going to be pretty close. He is going in on her. He does land his slow. She's getting low. And Kha'Zix actually goes in and goes down to the Nidalee. There is the ulti from Sona, and in comes the Ezreal to push them back. He goes ahead and takes down the Caitlyn. He's going to try to take down the Lulu as well. It looks like he is going to get the Lulu. She is shielded. No, he's going to go ahead and get the Nidalee first, and the Lulu is actually going to escape that. Wow. Alright, so there we go. Not bad. He got a double kill out of that, and I think they only really had to sacrifice Kha'Zix there, so it was a 2-for-1. I don't know if Kha'Zix got any assists out of that, which is always really annoying when you sacrifice, well, you die, and then your ally gets a kill and you don't get anything. So Vi actually came in, did a decent amount of damage. Well, actually, he didn't really do anything to Ezreal. Tried to do a decent amount of damage to Ezreal. Ezreal just said nope, and did about half of her life in damage. Down bottom, the blue team is going in on that tower. They actually did a lot of damage to it. It's pretty close to dead. Lee Sin came to guard it, as did Lulu. So they did actually manage to push them back for this time. The towers are currently one ahead for the... Actually, two ahead for the purple team. I forgot that they hadn't taken this one yet. Ezreal started to go back, but he changed his mind. He's just waiting here, doing a little bit more damage to Vi. Actually doing quite a bit of damage to Vi. I think he's going blue build Ezreal, isn't he? I can't really tell. I know this is definitely a big part of the blue build. It's a fairly new thing. It popped up the past month or so. But I know Spirit of the Elder Lizard is one of the big things because of the true damage that's being dealt every time that he attacks and everything. But yeah, it looks like he is not going blue build. Bloodthirster is definitely not part of the blue build. I don't remember everything that is, but I know that is, and actually cooldown boots, and let's see. I can't remember everything in it. But every item in the blue build is blue. I think for Iceborne Gauntlet's part of it, yes. But that's why they call it the blue build, just because every item is blue, which is kind of funny. Manimmune's another one, or Mirror Mana. So, it's a fairly new thing. It's apparently pretty strong, too, on Ezreal, just because he is a spellcaster. I mean, that's where a lot of his damage comes from. The Q and everything else. Ooh, they are just pushing here. But because of that, he's able to do a lot of damage using his Q, especially with that cooldown reduction. He keeps getting hit by the tower every time. As the Ezreal ulti goes in, the Nautilus lands his pull on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn had to be ulted by Lulu, so she could survive that. A decent amount of damage to the tower there. They are catching up on towers. They are still one behind, though. And now the blue team's just counter jungling here. Vi just went in on the Elise. Not really the best of decisions now. She's gonna have to run here. She does flash over the wall. Vi comes over, but does not actually end up getting her. She repelled to the minions, and I think she was trying to repel to Vi, but she did not end up doing it. There goes Vi with her ulti. She goes in on her, but Kha'Zix is coming in now. The Vi used her jump to get out of that, but the Elise is still chasing her down. She does flash, and down goes the Vi. Yes, but Caitlyn was able to take down Kha'Zix. How did that happen? Alright, so there's that. There we go. Alright, I want to see what happened to Kha'Zix as well. This is where the Vi unwisely goes in on Elise. Thought that her team was going to follow up, but they were forced to dance by the Sona. That's what happened there. Okay, so I want to follow Kha'Zix here. He does actually get attacked by the entire purple team here. So he does go down. The Ezreal takes down the Lee Sin, though. Actually, Kha'Zix gets the kill because of the Ignite. So that was a 2-for-1. Kha'Zix died, but so did Vi and Lee Sin. So that is a mid lane and a jungle for a mid lane. So that's not bad at all. And now the blue team is going in on this tower. Elise is pushing back top, so that's going to be fine. But Nautilus is actually getting pretty low here. He's got to walk. He's being pretty cautious. He's got to fall back, because otherwise he can die. Ezreal got hit by the Nidalee spear there. So he took quite a bit of damage. It does do a lot of damage when it hits. The only problem is that, especially with AP Nid, it doesn't always hit. And when it doesn't hit, she's then useless. Until, well, not completely useless. I mean, she was buffed recently. They did change it so that her panther form? Cougar form? I think it's cougar form. Yeah, cougar form. It does do AP damage at least now. It does damage based on AP. But even with that, I don't know, it's just, maybe it's the play style of everyone I play with. I mean, I am silver, so there is that. But this is based on streams I've watched and stuff, too. Anytime I see AP Nid, it's just underwhelming. APE is much the same way. He's really strong early game, and then late game comes along, and he's kind of useless. I've seen many games turn around where he's way ahead, and everything's going great for one team, and then the late game comes, and you just really can't do anything. He's got one attack ability, and if he doesn't kill anybody with it, that's the end. So blue is getting yet another dragon out of this. But the purple team's actually converging around Baron, but they didn't do it quite quick enough, so they are not going to be able to take this. They actually, it seems like they were afraid that the blue team was doing it, because they didn't have any wards there. So that's actually what they were doing there. Warding up, saying, oh, they're probably doing Baron. Oh, now the purple team is going for Dragon. Needs to say that's not going to work. They're actually caught on the wrong side of the map here. Blue team's going in on him. Vi just got attacked there. She's melting. There is the Sona ulti hitting multiple members of the team. Vi goes down to the Kha'Zix. The Nautilus is just tanking that Caitlyn, just keeping her zoned. Now the Elise is going in, going to go ahead and take down that Nidalee. Kha'Zix went ahead and jumped over and slowed these members of the purple team, but it looks like these guys might actually escape this. I don't know. I mean, the rest of the blue team is coming up. There is the jump from, or the flash from Nautilus. He does go down. Okay, I was wondering. But the Kha'Zix was able to take down the Elise, and Ezreal was able to take down the Lulu, but Lee Sin did get the kill on the Nautilus. So now there's a couple pings here from both areas. The couple members of the blue team are going to go ahead and go in on this tower, which is always a great idea, but Ezreal's going to go ahead and push back up and grab this tower as well, so that they're actually pushing at two places at once, which is great for them, obviously. And he's pushing this up. I think he's going to be able to get the tower because the purple team is not really responding. They have to be there to fight off the blue team should the blue team continue to push mid. So they decided to go ahead and give up this tower. It is going to go down. And he's going to go ahead and ulti. Took down a couple CS for that. Not bad. And that does allow his lane to continue pushing, which is a large part of why he did that. Or not, because in comes the Vi. I used to think that was a really silly thing to do for the Ezreals. I never really understood why they would push with their ulti, because I was like, it's an ulti. It's got a long cooldown. It's not really that long, but it does have a long cooldown. But I didn't really realize the fact that this reduces his cooldown. That thought had never occurred to me, even though I played him all the time. It's just I hadn't realized that every time he lands a mystic shot, he actually gets reduced cooldowns. So he can take a 60-second cooldown spell, True Shot Barrage, and make it far less as long as he hits a decent number of Qs. And as Ezreal, that's your entire purpose, is to hit those Qs. So usually you're going to see an Ezreal hitting his Qs. Alright. Does this make it to the tower? No. So this is going to continue pushing. The blue team was picked up by a ward here. No. They weren't picked up by a ward. Maybe that was just estimation. Yeah, because there was a ward here, so they were picked up by that ward. So a couple of them might be going top from the looks of it. No, they changed their mind. And now Lee Sin just got picked up there, and he just melted. He got hit by the Elise stun, and then Kha'Zix jumped in, and that was the end of Lee Sin. Now a whole bunch of pings here on Baron from the blue team. Kha'Zix jumps in, is going in on it. Looks like he actually evolved his ulti. He did. You know, I do like that, how his character actually changes based on what he evolves. It makes sense, honestly. I mean, it's really awesome. I really love that about him. Oh, he does go down to that. And now the Elise goes down as well. There is the Sona ulti. This Baron is going to be abandoned. Sorry, Baron, they don't actually want to kill you anymore. Nautilus is going to try to get out. There is the Vi going in again, but he's being attacked by Ezreal. Ezreal actually might be able to take... Oh, he got exhausted, so he's going to go ahead and flash out. Sona is now in trouble being attacked by the Vi. Nautilus is still alive. Still alive. Still alive. And now the Vi is actually being attacked by the tower. She does go down. The Nautilus gets the kill. And now Lulu's chasing down the Ezreal. Not the best of ideas because it's Ezreal, and he could take a Lulu. But Nidalee gets the Nautilus. Ezreal had to jump out of that with his E now. Lee Sin is pushing mid while all this is going on. She tried to land a hit there. But had she landed it slightly further up, she actually probably would have killed Ezreal. But no. No death for you. Alright. So these guys are pretty much on the same cooldown. So you're going to see a 4 up on both sides. So there probably isn't going to be too much of an engagement until all members of the team are up. Somebody's going to go bot would be my guess. Because there's a huge creep wave. Nautilus is on his way down. Yes? Yeah. There we go. And he just completely ripped through that whole line. But yeah, I love the way he changes, you know. If you upgrade his ulti, he changes red. His wings grow bigger if you upgrade his wings because, you know, that's what it is. And then, I think... Yeah, his spines get bigger as well if you upgrade the Void Spike, which is what happened to him. And then if you upgrade that one, his claws get bigger. Alright, I really love how that happens. I mean, he's just a really cool champion. They did a lot of really cool champions recently. I'm really loving it. Oh, that was close. Nidalee almost got grabbed there. There is the Caitlyn ulti coming in and just kind of plinking the Elise there a tad. Kha'Zix is walking around. I think he was thinking about going top, but he decided against it. He does land his slow there on a couple of members of that team. There's the Ezreal ulti doing a bit of damage, but not overly much. Sona's wanting to ward here, but she kind of figured out that they are there, so she's trying to be cautious here. Blue team is actually pinging let's go mid, And also, let's go Baron. So, who knows? I don't know which one they're actually going to do. Both teams are now pinging Baron. The wards here are picking up the blue team, and I don't think the blue team has any wards picking up the purple team. So, purple team knows where the blue team is, but that's not the case for the blue team. Well, the blue team knows where the blue team is, obviously, but they don't know where the purple team is. Ping there from the purple team on Dragon, which would be a terrible idea right now. They would be picked up by that ward going to Dragon unless they circled around. But as soon as that happened, you'd probably see the blue team go straight for the Baron. There's a nice team fight here. Vi's getting really close. She does end up going down to Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix now has a reset. He jumps in. Elise takes down Lee Sin. Caitlyn's actually getting really low. The Elise is able to take her down as well, I believe, with Ignite. Kha'Zix is trying to take down the Lulu. It looks like he's not going to be able to. No. But in comes the Nautilus and flashes over to grab the Nidalee. And now Lulu is the only one left, and she does shield herself, but she is going to go down to the Elise. So there we go. There is the ace, and now the blue team is probably going to go ahead and end this. They've got 15 seconds before the next member of... Oh, never mind. That's going to be a surrender. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it there. We can take a look at the items. We've got Nidalee with 144 CS. She is 6'5" versus a 142 CS Elise, who is 6'4'7". They're actually pretty close there. Decent number of assists there on Elise to give her the boost. The Nidalee has Iceborne Gauntlet, Giant's Belt, Ninja Tabby versus Elise? Probably just to go against those two. Chalice of Harmony, Doran's Blade, and a Ruby Crystal versus Zhonya's Hourglass, Haunting Guise, Sorcerer's Shoes, Blasting Wand, Amplifying Tome, and a Crystalline Flask. The Lee Sin mid has 143 CS versus 275 for Kha'Zix. That is huge. Kha'Zix is 1139 versus 181. Ouch. Bloodthirster, Ninja Tabby, Giant's Belt, and a Health Potion. That is all that Lee Sin has, while Kha'Zix has Bloodthirster, Black Cleaver, Muramana, Brutalizer, Warden's Mail, and Boots of Speed. He is massively fed compared to compared to pretty much anybody. He just got massively fed in general. Caitlyn has 253 CS and is 2'4'7" versus 5'2" Ezreal with 229 CS. Caitlyn's got Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Berserker's Grease, Vampiric Scepter, Doran's Blade, and a Longsword versus Trinity Force. You don't usually see that built on Ezreal anymore. Everybody seems to have mostly switched to the Frozen Iceborne Gauntlet. Frozen Gauntlet. Anyway, Bloodthirster, Spirit of the Elder Lizard, Berserker's Grease, and a Doran's Blade. Lulu has 16 CS versus 4 for Sona. Who cares about that? But Lulu is 0'46" versus 1121. That's always nice to have a huge number like that. Lulu has Boots of Mobility, Chalice of Harmony, Cage's Lucky Pick, Philosopher's Stone, Emblem of Valor, and a Sight Ward. Versus Shirelia's Reverie, Lock of the Iron Solari, I like those items, Sightstone, Boots of Speed, Vision Ward, and Sight Ward. So she's actually warding quite nicely. It looks like Lulu only has one slot for ward. She actually does not even have a Sightstone. Fairly unusual at this level of game. Vi with 124 CS versus Nautilus with 107. Vi is 4'66" versus 4'38" for Nautilus. Vi has Runic Bulwark, Spirit of the Elder Lizard, Lock of the Iron Solari, and Boots of Mobility versus Runic Bulwark, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Boots of Mobility, and a Chain Vest. So that is the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I shall see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.